Welcome, golf fans. This is your golf guru bringing you the first look at the 2020 Sanderson Farms Championship. And I will also just be doing a recap of Corrales and then giving us also a first look at some players we might be interested in putting in our lineups. So let's do this. All right. So Super Chalk. How did the chalk do? See, Will Gordon, who everybody thought was price way too low, so everybody jumped all over that, and he ended up giving you a miscut. Substraka, who I was high on, came out of the gates like Seabiscuit and just fell to the pack going over the weekend. So he ended up with a T33. Sam Burns, if you could have just not shot a 78 on Saturday, you would have won the tournament. He ended up with a T28. And Adam Schenk, I really didn't see much of him, but he ended up with a T56. So that's what the chalk got you. My pivots, Christoph Ventura, he was just kind of blah, just shot low 70s, ended up with a T52. Patrick Rogers actually had a pretty nice weekend, ended up with a T11. Matt Jones would have got you a T14, and then CH3, I think you need a vacation, and I think that's why you came to Dominican Republic Corrales, and he got you a miscut. So my fades, Corey Connors, this was team no putt pretty much here, except for Henrik Stenson, but he doesn't really putt that great anymore either. Faded him because too much money and you can't putt, and Corey Connors got a miscut. Luke List, you could have won the tournament if you could just make a 2 or 3 footer. I think on Saturday I literally watched him miss about 4 3-footers. It was hard to watch it. So, but he could have won the tournament. He had a T8. Just learn how to putt, Luke. Griot, he did all right. Just very typical Griot, just couldn't putt. And then Henrik Stenson, actually, I'll give him some credit for getting a T21 because literally I swear I thought he was just there for vacation. So that he even finished almost in the top 20, that's pretty good. My super sleepers, badly, you played badly. I was hoping for at least a Thursday or Friday of like a low 60. That's usually what he does. But instead he gave us like a 70, 71, missed a cut by a stroke or two. Brandon Grace, just no good. I mean, we'll just put it that way. It was 9,000 wasted if you got him. Miscut. Then Chase Seifert for 6,700 at T41. Would have wished it had been better, but again, not too bad for the price. And then we had him, man. I thought we had the winner. We had the 54-hole winner. And then Adam Long decided to tee it up on Sunday and just choked it out. I mean, the poor guy just he was making me nervous trying to putt. So, we almost had the picked winner. He looked really good, and it happens, right? That's golf. And then what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to add the winning lineups. I think this is kind of neat. I always just look at, what the winning lineup looked like, where were we off, and I'm going to add a couple of my lineups, the best ones that I do in the big game. So this is just for the big game. And, real simple, he had Hughes long, he had our long pick, he had Hahn who made every par putt from 80 feet that he had to. And I like the Scotty Brown pick, solid. And I don't know how many actually entries this S Cookie 333 had, but good on him. And of course, why did he win? Hudson Swafford, 2.2% own. So if you just had Swafford, even if you had a team of 4 going in, you probably cashed some money because, like I said, he was 135 points. And I want to look at Swafford real quick. So I pulled this up, and why I was not, I looked at him briefly, and nothing would have pointed you to Hudson Swafford from a statistical information, everything. So he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 missed cuts since the start of the year. His best finish was at the Waste Management. His last win was in 2017, actually at the American Express. He's played last year at Corrales, and I believe he had a miscut. And then the Puerto Rico, I might have to flip-flop these, but the Puerto Rico Open in 2014, if my memory serves me, had like a 50th. So, and then in the comp courses, even if you look at Mayakoba, his best was like a 40 something, but it was like he played there about 4 or 5 times at Mayakoba. And again, this is similar greens, similar, course structure on the water, the winds. It was almost 40s and 50s. Nothing stood out. It was just pure and simple, as I kind of mentioned in the very beginning. This is one of those tournaments when you have 156 pros. You could have took all their names, put them on a circle wheel, and spun it, and whoever landed on wouldn't have shocked me if they would have won. Everybody was live in this tournament, and so there you go, Hudson Swafford. Good on that. So my best 2 lineups in the big game. I had one that ranked almost 1,000th place out of, I forgot how many people was even in this thing, but I think 25, 30,000. I had the Hughes. So if you look at the guys I was picking, we had the putters, and I didn't bring up Hughes even in my thing because he ended up in 2nd place, runner-up last year, and I think he's done pretty decent in past history here. So yeah, that trying to think if there's anything really to pull out of that is just 6 of 6 going in. Hosler and Kazire, I wasn't actually hoping a lot of them. Hosler's a little better putter than what he actually did. But yeah, the guys that I thought would actually win out of this group was Rogers or Hughes, and then guys that could do well, I thought McCarty and Hosler and Kazire could do a little better than they did. And then the lineup to the right was, which most of my constructions were, funny enough, was Burns, Long, Straka. I thought those were the 3 key guys. And then, I like Jones, as I mentioned. I had Badley, and then Bozelli actually did pretty well for the cost and for, the ownership. Just had a bad Sunday, which quite a few of the guys did. I mean, if you go down my whole lineup here, Long, 3 over, Straka, 2 over, Bozelli, 4 over. So, I didn't think it was that big a difference, conditions. And then, as I mentioned, Burnsy boy, if he would have just even shot even, what was that? He was 14 under. We just take away, give him an even on Saturday. But neither here or there. That was that. All right, so let's get into why we're here. The Sanderson Farms. This is played at the Country Club of Jackson and Mississippi. It's 2 9s, one called Dogwood, one called Azalea. Of course, named after the certain holes at Augusta. It's a par 72, around 7,200 yards. It plays between 7,200 and 7,400 yards. Bermuda greens. I have average, the average size is 5,000 to 8,500 square feet. So what I'm getting to, that's not average PGA size. That's larger than usual. So big greens to hit, smaller fairways, but the rough is nothing to worry about if you get off the fairway. There's some of the areas, I'm not going to go over all of those, but that's what I'll be putting in my model going forward. And past winners. So let's talk a little bit about this. What you glean, if you look at over the last 3 years, the winners and who came in second, runner-up, all of them are not that long off the tee, but very accurate, great iron players, and so putters. Out of these guys, I would look at Munoz and Armour as probably the better putters out of those guys. Champ, it was his first win in 2018. He is very accurate and long, so he's shooting, and he must have had a good wedge day. I don't remember. I don't know how much I watched of that one last year. And must have had his putter going because his putter could be eh. So, yeah, what I'll be looking for is probably the more leaning towards the Ryan Armour, Sungjae M's. Then I'd be looking at Cameron Champ. But, again, I kind of mentioned that I'm also liking Scotty Scheffler. I think he right now is going to be the heaviest play, the most highest ownership garnished. How's it played in the past? Scoring relative to par. It's going to end up, you need to shoot between 18 to 20 under. So we're going to need guys that can make birdies. Hitting fairways, it shows is difficult because they are pretty small. But again, the rough, if you look at the length, it's, short to average. So, no speech, no issues getting to the green out of the rough. Wind has been pretty calm, so we don't need the guys that like to play in crappy weather, hopefully, or windy weather. So it's pretty easy, track. Shouldn't have any issues here. So what I did is I just took the pool and because right now I don't have pricing, but I do have who is playing right now, and just glean, what have they done here over the past, tournaments. And so the ones that stuck out, again, I mentioned already, Scheffler. I like, he said, a T16 and a T45. I like Tringali, and I think Fratelli. I think they're both live. Who else stuck out to me? Oh, Carlos Ortiz. He fits the mold, right? So, pretty accurate off the tee, pretty good iron player. It's just whatever his putter is going to do, which is everybody. And even Rob Oppenheim, I've got some interest in. So, of course, I'll do deeper dive analysis into the whole field, but this was just to give you kind of a first pass of the guys that have had some decent past history at this course. And then if you match that up with these same guys with recent form, you can see Ryan Armour has not been doing too hot, but Burnsy, I think he's live here. He's due. Adam Long, again, with what he's done with a fifth and a T13 at the U.S. Open. Of course, Scheffler, you already know that he's going to be well, and Munoz has been playing pretty well. So, some of these guys, I don't know about have a lot of Munoz, just because I just feel like the guys that have to come back and try to repeat just never works out well. I think the last one I can think off the top of my head was Paul Casey at the Valspar, won it back-to-back. I think that's the last one that I can remember. So, yeah, it doesn't mean we're not going to play them. It just means, we'll probably look for some other areas to some sneaky stuff. So that's it. So that's your first look at the Sanderson Farms, kind of a recap of Corrales. Again, if you are liking what you're seeing here, getting some value out of it, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button and subscribe. I typically put out about 3 podcasts per week per tournament. So the next one will be my picks, the deeper sites, the pivots, the projections, all that. And then typically right before the tournament starts, I kind of any updates that I find out or anything I think you need to know, and I also put out my kind of diamonds in the rough. You'll get all that like literally the night before the tournament kicks, so you can kind of get your last picks in and before you lock it down. So again, this is your Golf Guru. I appreciate it, and hopefully we have a lot of success here at the old Chicken Open. Talk to you later.